Hey folks, Adam Brian Dada here with the Lower Reward video series. At the time of recording this, the internet is all abuzz because we're a week away from two very large consumer brands fighting it out to see which brand gets bragging rights for the next 4 years. So this is an introduction to what I like to call the Brandless lower reward lifestyle. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you fit into one of two groups. You fit into the bitching group, meaning somebody who complains or thinks life isn't fair to them or wants to blame either somebody else or themselves for why they don't have the things they dream about. Or you're like me and you're in the ditching group and you're watching this because you want to help the bitching group break free of that. If you've watched my introductory episodes, which you should have by now, you'll know that reward is really the foundational question that everybody should be asking themselves every day. And if you don't know what reward means, then stop this video right now and start at the top of my introduction videos and watch one every day, maybe every other day, but do not binge them. Watch and contemplate. So when it comes to brandlessness, I find myself looking back over time, mostly thanks to social media, but sometimes just searching through old emails, looking through old photos, and seeing how much of my life I've dedicated to brands. And brands are part of the xenophobia chapter in my low reward cookbook, but maybe not in yours. I'd always been a brand junkie. And something I had discovered earlier in life than most people, but did not heed, is that brand membership, meaning being a part of the tribe of a brand, actually hurts the brand member because 80%, the Pareto 80%, don't support that brand directly. So when you brag about being a brand supporter, a brand member, what you are in fact doing is you're potentially cutting your market by 80%. So if you're a bitcher, and I assume most of you are, probably 96%, which is 80% Pareto bottom plus 80% of the top 20%, gets you the 96%. If you are a brand supporter and a bitcher, it is possible that you are likely hurting your income by almost 400%. If you're making $30,000 a year and you are a devout brand supporter, it is very possible that you are hurting yourself by $120,000 more. I'm not kidding you. It doesn't matter what brand you support. All brands are consumers. Anytime that there's a battle between two people, two consumers, regarding a brand, anytime, it doesn't matter what it is always consumers. Always consumers. Unless the people doing the debating are recognizable in the media. So let's have the discussion in this introduction to a potential 2-week self-study, which again, if you want me to continue with the 2-week self-study, I need your comments on YouTube below. So let's talk about what are potential brands. Well, a lot of people here know that I regularly talk about the Burger King taco. So Burger King, of course, is a brand. And I don't debate it regularly with other people. I don't really care what you think. Burger King and McDonald's or Wendy's and Popeyes, whatever, those are brands. We know that. Target versus Walmart, it's a brand. We know that. But what about other brands? And I don't mean like Ford versus Chevy or even Buy American versus Buy Japanese. That doesn't matter to me. What about brands like Democrat versus Republican? What about brands like Christianity versus Islam? Or how about Orthodox Judaism versus liberal and progressive Judaism? These are brands. These are consumer brands because people will debate them forevermore. Consumers will debate them forevermore unless they are recognizable celebrities. Recognizable meaning recognized by the consumers who are watching them or consuming their media. So one of the things that I had to ask myself growing up is what is there to gain by promoting one brand over another? And I did that. And I said, if I promote libertarianism or I promote Stolichnaya versus Absolute, I'm going to find more people who are just like me. And that, unfortunately, creates an unfortunate bifurcation in the mind. By looking for people who are just like me, I am now boosting dopamine and serotonin without any cost to myself that I can see. There's no patience by saying, I love driving stick shift. No cost. No financial cost, no time cost, no long-term investment, no obvious risk of failure. So we're looking at this brand, embracing the brand as a higher reward behavior. And it doesn't matter what those brand industries are. If you cling to a brand, be it Christianity or Democratic support or libertarian support or cotton versus polyester, whatever it might be, it's a higher reward behavior. But there are people out there, consumers, mind you, consumers, the people who make a man like me wealthier, the most important people to show agreement with in advertising. There are consumers who take very seriously their brand support. And by picking and choosing a brand, whether they agree with you or not, most people would say, well, you're splitting it half and half. I like this Republican and you don't. No big deal, because half the people will agree with me. Half the people who love politics will agree with me, because it's always 50-50. I don't even care if you're a progressive Bernie Sanders supporter at the time of this video, or a libertarian Ron Paul supporter. It doesn't matter. If you're into politics, you can pretend to like one of the small, very polarized brands, or you can pretend to like the other very polarized brand, but in reality, at the end, you're going to pick one of the big ones, the 50-50s. Now, the problem, though, is this. You're going to say, I'm picking a brand and I'm splitting my market in half. No big deal. There's still a lot of people. But that's not true. The only people you're splitting in half are the people who care about the brand. And the vast majority of the public doesn't even care about that market. They don't even care about that industry. So what did you just do? You didn't split your network in half. You chopped it down by 80%. True with politics, true with religion, true with hamburgers, true with transmissions of vehicles. More than 50% don't care. It's closer to 80% don't care. And when they see that you care enough and they don't, either they don't like your side or they don't even care about the whole topic, you've just shut yourself out from 400% bigger of a market. I had a conversation recently with a filmmaker who said this particular political candidate is a liar. And my initial thought was, why do you care? Do you know? Have you seen this candidate in person performing an act that matters in person, face to face, able to shake hands and name each other by name when you do? Have they actually committed a lie against something that you were directly involved in? Or was it just a celebrity in the media, recognizable to the audience that cares? Is it just a celebrity being a celebrity and advertising whatever dopamine high the consumer audience consuming wants to hear about? Why do consumers clap? Why do consumers cheer? Why do consumers ask for autographs? Because they want that dopamine high that they've been conditioned to get from that celebrity. That's it. That's it. Happens in church. It happens in church. It happens at the football stadium. I've seen it happen at expensive dinners in a restaurant that people pay $500 each for, and they clap when the chef brings out the timpano. And if you say, I love this steak, well, let's say you just cut out some of your audience, right? The vegans and vegetarians, boo-hoo. Well, that's not exactly true, because there's a lot of people out there that don't really care. Even meat eaters don't really care. Why would you pick a side? On the flip side, if you're a recognizable celebrity to your audience, you absolutely have to pick a side. Because being a celebrity means you already have a financial incentive, and you don't care about building your market based on your skill set. You already have a skill set, and that skill set is, I'm going to market to this audience. I'm okay with just having 20% of the overall world's attention, because the 20% already give me the financial future that I want. I've already reached there. If you're not a recognizable celebrity to a large audience, you cannot take a side. It doesn't matter if it's spicy chicken sandwiches. It doesn't matter if it's taking the train versus flying by an airplane. It doesn't matter if it's solar or gas. By picking a side in anything that you do, you are telling the audience, I don't care that you don't care. You're telling the huge audience, the world audience, I don't care that you don't care. So if you're a bitcher and not a ditcher, if you're a bitcher, the proper thing to say is, I'm sorry, I apologize, I don't know what's going on with this particular industry. I'm not familiar with politics right now. I'm not familiar with hamburgers and spicy chicken sandwiches. I'm really not that clued into religion. I understand you're very passionate about this. At this point in my life, I'm still growing, building my market. But when I get to a point of success, I promise you, I will spend some time with you, and you can tell me more about it. And maybe by then I'll have a lot of money and I could donate to the cause or buy more stick shift cars. I would love to. By the way, I have this skill. I create this item. Is there any possibility that you would like to give me a test run? That you would like to see how good I am? Can I offer you 50% off to try my cat vacuuming service? I am very passionate about that because that's what I want to do the rest of my life. Let's talk about your passions outside of this one that we don't share. Maybe we both share a passion, but I'd really like to talk about cat vacuuming first. You gotta show them you care about the nonsense that they care about. You gotta show them you care about the nonsense that you care about. And then you need to pivot and take it to what matters to you that actually profits you. I think it's important for bitchers to become brandless. I think you should get rid of the Under Armour shirts. I think you should get rid of liking rap music or country music. I think you should get rid of liking pizza over pasta in the public eye of people that obviously don't agree either with your brand decision or the market in general. Save those for private. Don't take even photos of it. Wear your Nike shirts and drink beer with your Nike-loving, beer-drinking friends only, and don't brag about it in public. Create your little mini cult conspiracy of Nike-wearing, beer-drinking consumers that you are going to be marketing cat vacuuming to. I'm Adam Brian Dada, and this is the Low Reward video series.